Sydney, Australia.
What? Y'all thought y'all can slow Kendrick Lamar down?
I see why they hate Kendrick, man. I really do.
I need the max win.
Kendrick Lamar performing in the final stop of the GNX tour in Sydney, Australia.
Sydney has been waiting their turn, and it's finally time.
This is what Game hates.
Look at the crowd, man. I'm telling y'all, look how packed and crazy it is in Sydney, Australia.
Sydney, come here, Sydney.
Kendrick has made history and is still continuing to write his story, man.
Y'all have no goddamn business. Y'all have no damn business turning up at this type of magnitude.
Game could never do this.
42,000 people are losing their minds. Kendrick Lamar just finished the final show of his GNX tour, and something happened that will be talked about for decades. But this isn't just about one concert. This is about the moment hip-hop proved it could conquer the world without compromise. This is about 100,000 people over 2 nights singing every word to songs that weren't made for radio. This is about Kendrick Lamar doing something that Drake, despite all his numbers, could never do. And this is about why Sydney changed everything we thought we knew about commercial success in hip-hop. Let's be honest about what Kendrick was attempting in Sydney. This was supposed to be impossible. Australia isn't exactly known as a hip-hop stronghold. It's halfway across the world from Compton. The time difference alone should have killed the energy. And Kendrick hadn't toured Australia in years. He was essentially starting from scratch in terms of building a fan base there. But here's what made it even more challenging. Kendrick wasn't bringing pop music to Sydney. He wasn't bringing radio-friendly hits designed for casual listeners. He was bringing pure, uncompromising hip-hop. Complex lyrics, conscious themes, songs that require you to actually listen, not just vibe. The GNX tour was built around an album that dropped with no warning, no singles, no radio push. Just 37 minutes of Kendrick at his most raw and unfiltered. And he was expecting 42,000 people in Sydney to not just show up, but to know every word. Industry experts were skeptical. Can Kendrick really fill stadiums internationally? Is he big enough to compete with a pop-rap crossover artist? Will Australian audiences connect with music this specifically American? The tickets went on sale, and within minutes, both nights were sold out. Not just sold out, completely obliterated. Resale prices hit thousands of dollars. People were flying in from New Zealand, from across Asia, from other continents. That should have been the first sign that something special was about to happen. December 13th, the first night. And from the moment Kendrick stepped on stage, you could feel that this wasn't going to be a normal concert. He opens with Whacked Out Murals, the first track from GNX, a deep, introspective track about dealing with success and criticism, not exactly a crowd pleaser. Except 42,000 people start singing along. Every word, every bar, every flow switch. Then Squabble Up, the most aggressive track on the album. And Sydney turns into controlled chaos. Mosh pits everywhere, people crowd surfing, security completely overwhelmed by the energy. But here's what separates this from every other concert you've ever seen. Kendrick is performing with minimal backing tracks. No lead vocals playing underneath, just him, his voice, his breath control, his technical skill. And he's hitting every single word, every flow switch, every cadence change, live, in front of 42,000 people, with the kind of precision that most rappers can't achieve in a studio. The crowd recognizes what they're witnessing. This isn't just entertainment, this is artistry at the highest level. Then Not Like Us hits, the Drake diss that became a cultural phenomenon. And Sydney erupts like they're at a football match. 42,000 people screaming, trying to strike a chord, and it's probably A minor in unison. Think about that for a second. We're in Australia, halfway across the world from the Drake vs. Kendrick beef, and these people are treating a diss track like their national anthem. That's when you realize this isn't just about music anymore. This is about culture. This is about Kendrick representing something that transcends geography, transcends nationality, transcends everything except pure artistic excellence. Then come the guests, and each one proves that this isn't just Kendrick's moment, this is hip-hop's moment. lighters up, phone lights creating a galaxy in the darkness. This is the moment that proves Kendrick's versatility. He can make you mosh, then make you cry, then make you think, all within the same show. Schoolboy Q comes out for collard greens, a throwback to the black hippie days, and the crowd goes absolutely insane. This is West Coast hip-hop history playing out in real time in Sydney, and it feels completely natural. Baby Keem appears for Family Ties, the torch passing moment, the older generation and the newer generation sharing.
I'm telling you, this man is not slowing down anytime soon.
Drake could never do this. This is what they hate. They could never do this.
Kendrick Lamar is going to be running this hip hop game for a very, very long time.
What a way to end the show.
How does all this freaking mischief, all this destruction happen with no injuries? How?
I don't know.
Tell me, how does everybody have a fucking portable force field, portable body armor, and just decide to go in the crowd, get demolished, and there's no injuries?
This time I'm a little jealous because Kendrick actually came out to do collard greens, which he hadn't done as of yet on this leg of the tour.
This is amazing, man.
Kendrick comes out and does a show with the Clips. Now, you know Kendrick Lamar is 10 times bigger than the Clips.
Another jam-packed stadium, 50,000 plus people. Again, that's over 100,000 people over the 2 nights alone.
You're talking about a man who's filling up 80,000 people stadiums. And he's performing with 2 dudes who is performing in front of 5,000 people.
And you know, we've heard some other rappers and some other artists come and say, I don't want to do stadiums, it's not an intimate experience, this and that, whatever, it's just excuses. Well, this proves them wrong.
Shout out to y'all, Sydney, Australia, for showing out for Kendrick Lamar. Y'all went crazy. I'm telling you, that footage is wild.
Family Ties, man. One of my favorite beats that Kendrick Lamar has ever graced. Like I said, Spartan kick music. Look at that. The energy is crazy.
Could you imagine that there were just certain artists that just said, no, I'm not going to do hip hop in stadiums ever because I don't think the sound or whatever it may be is going to hit the same. And then everybody else just kind of follows suit.
Mind you, a lot of people were trying to run with their narrative that Kendrick Lamar shows weren't exciting. Have you seen any of his shows over his career? It's honestly insane.
I think Kendrick Lamar just proved that notion wrong.
Security guard, what the fuck I look like? The security guard, like, what the fuck I look like when Kendrick Lamar's on that goddamn stage?
I don't want to hear shit about Drake no more, bro. Don't talk to me about Drake ever again, bro.
The Last Dance, December 14th, the final night of the GNX tour, and you can feel the weight of the moment from the opening song. Kendrick knows this is it, the last show, the culmination of everything he's been building toward, and his performance reflects that knowledge. He performs All Right, the anthem that became a protest chant, the song that defined a generation's relationship with hope and struggle, and Sydney sings it back with the kind of conviction that gives you chills. We gon' be all right. 42,000 voices, believing it, feeling it, living it. Then the deep cuts, swimming pools, Mad City, Humble, but also album tracks that only real fans know, songs that never got radio play, songs that require you to have actually listened to the albums, not just the hits, and Sydney knows every single word. That's when you understand what you're witnessing. This isn't a casual audience that showed up for the hits. These are students of Kendrick's artistry, people who've lived with his music, analyzed his lyrics, understood his evolution as an artist. The energy builds throughout the night. Each song feels like a celebration and a goodbye at the same time. The crowd understands they're witnessing something that won't happen again.
Drake could never do this, bro. He could never have an audience like this, bro. Never. He could never have an audience like this.
Nobody will ever do this for a very long time. I don't even think we're going to see this again in our lifetime, honestly.
Yo, bro's skin is glowing.
Now he did Luther, but SZA obviously wasn't there, and the song really don't hit the same, even though we know why she's not there.
Things that Kendrick Lamar is doing on this GNX tour are so legendary. These records and everything that he's doing will not be broken.
I can only imagine the reflection he's doing in a moment like that. Again, it's one thing to be a spectator, but imagine what it's like to be the artist who's getting their songs chanted.
If this
Now, we're bringing hip hop to the next stage. Yes, Kendrick is doing this. He's going to probably hold this record for a very long time. But if the next generation of rappers see this and this becomes their new ceiling, the heights that hip hop can get to in the future are going to be unimaginable.
It's impossible to have legit footage. Look at the crowd. It's impossible to have legit footage and try to show it to your family.
Drake is internet love. He's an internet lover. People love him on the internet. They can't stand him in person.
Hey, I'm at the Kendrick Lamar concert. No, you're not. Yo, I am at the Kendrick Lamar concert. Okay, well, then show me proof. All right, bet. Here proof. There you go. Here proof.
You can tell he puts a lot of time in to his craft to make it look effortless like that. Man, I'm telling you, Kendrick Lamar is wild.
Production visuals are just amazing, aren't they?
The song that Game did where he was kind of mocking Kendrick, that's such an old Kendrick style that Kendrick don't even rap like that now. That's how you know, like, a lot of these dudes just, they be in their feelings and they just do whatever because they think it's gonna get them some clout or some attention.
Doechii did her normal thing. She came with all the energy, came with all the bars. She didn't skip a beat.
And this tour has been amazing. It has been one of the most craziest experiences all around. Unreal. GNX, like I said in my previous videos, I think this whole era, when it's all said and done, will be his most commercial era.
People saying she was an industry plant. I always say if she is, she's a good one. Because she's actually got skills.
We had to learn from the last mistake. Don't have no more equipment on stage when the motherfucker rapping. She is catching the blades. We cannot risk that no more.
Then we had Schoolboy Q and Kendrick came out doing Schoolboy Q set.
It's your favorite song.
So many awesome pictures that came from this tour. Honestly, it'd be a shame if we didn't get a documentary. With the amount of people filming, I'm more than certain there is something in the works, and I'm truly here for it.
I love Schoolboy Q. I mean, that's who Game should have tried to battle, to be honest with y'all. Don't go after Kendrick, go after Schoolboy Q.
The things he's doing are just out of this world. Just look at Sydney, Australia, how they showed out for
Then, near the end of the show, something unexpected happens. The music stops, the crowd quiets, and Kendrick speaks from the heart. Sydney, this is my last show of the tour, and y'all made it special. Y'all made it unforgettable. You can hear the emotion in his voice. This isn't scripted. This isn't part of the show. This is genuine gratitude from an artist who just experienced something he didn't expect. I came here to give y'all everything I got, and y'all gave it back. That's love. That's real love. The crowd starts chanting his name. Kendrick, Kendrick, Kendrick. 42,000 people expressing pure appreciation for what they just witnessed. He smiles, a rare, genuine smile that you don't see often from someone as private as Kendrick. I love y'all. Thank you, Sydney. And then he launches into Not Like Us one final time. The last performance of the tour, the final moment, and Sydney loses whatever composure they had left. This speech becomes the moment that defines the entire tour, not just because of what Kendrick said, but because of how he said it. The vulnerability, the genuine surprise at the response he received, the human connection between artist and audience.
This is the last show of the Grand National motherfucking tour right here in the city.
Obviously, the send off. So epic.
Now, how big is that venue out there? That look big as fuck. How many people was that? So it looks here that the capacity is just over 42,000 people. Sydney, y'all really did y'all thing out here. Okay, I see you. Look at this massive venue.
There's no better way to end the tour, right?
With amazing energy like this, man.
Say less, any day ones in the house tonight?
Oh, we about to hear another classic.
The same way we did yesterday, this is your first test. Come on.
Oh, yeah. I get goosebumps when I hear the crowd roar like
You
that.
could say he performed in the stadium. Drake never said, he can never say he did that. Well, at least on a consistent basis, let's just say that.
Nobody has a problem supporting Kendrick Lamar. You know why? Because he's not phony, he's not fake, and he does everything that's pure and right.
And imagine now, with his next era, Kendrick comes with a conceptual project sprinkled with his specialties in there, so he's able to have a wide demographic of music listeners.
We don't want no water, Michael Phelps. We don't want no water, Michael Phelps. We want nothing but fire. Fuck.
But he comes with a conceptual album and then says, I want to do a stadium tour again myself for that album as well. That's when that becomes a game changer. And I'm actually very excited to see what this next era will be.
How many Aussies y'all do it has said, and we're right there. How many Aussies y'all heard has said, I thought you gotta pop out the show, niggas, mate.
And another great idea that I haven't actually heard too many other people bring up, a live album would be dope because there has been a lot of dope audio.
Kendrick Lamar is 100% the GOAT. After all these performances that we seen and all the footage that we seen on this GNX tour, man, Kendrick the GOAT.
From April till December, he had the world's biggest hip hop tour. He had the biggest hip hop touring act in the world. One of the biggest songs in the world, one of the biggest albums put out within the last 12 months. This run has been unprecedented.
Especially given the fact that Kendrick Lamar is performing his records. Not to say that other rappers aren't performing because they're obviously on stage, but this guy is doing it again with no lead vocals on these backing tracks.
The moment the show ends, the footage starts spreading. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Reddit, every platform is flooded with videos from Sydney. Did you see what happened in Sydney? Kendrick just did something historic. 100,000 people over 2 nights. This is insane. The clips go viral instantly. Kendrick's speech, the crowd singing Not Like Us, the energy during All Right, the guest appearances. Every moment becomes content, becomes proof of what just happened. But it's not just the individual moments. It's the collective story they tell. The story of an artist at the peak of his powers, performing for audiences that understand and appreciate artistry at the highest level. The narrative shifts in real time. Before Sydney, people were still debating whether Kendrick could compete commercially with artists like Drake. After Sydney, the debate is over. Kendrick just proved he can fill stadiums anywhere in the world with pure hip-hop. No gimmicks, no pop features, no compromises, just artistry and authenticity. Let's talk about what Kendrick actually accomplished with the GNX tour, because the numbers tell an incredible story. 100,000 people over 2 nights in Sydney alone. But that's just the finale. Over the entire tour, 35 shows, 1.5 million tickets sold, $250 million in revenue. Here's what makes those numbers even more impressive. Kendrick did it with fewer shows than Drake's last tour, but made almost as much per show. Why? Because Kendrick was playing stadiums, bigger venues, higher demand. Sydney was the exclamation point on those numbers, the final proof that Kendrick can compete with anyone commercially, globally, without compromising his artistic vision.
In all, another successful sold-out show in Sydney this time. If you went to the show, put your comments below.
For you to say, for any of y'all to say that GNX is not a classic, y'all lost y'all goddamn mind.
And I don't want to hear none of that shit no more about Kendrick Lamar can't sell out shows and he can't sell out stadiums. Man, all that talk is dead. That shit gone.
This is pretty much a sold out hip hop tour. Globally around the world, keeping it hip hop, not pop rap, not dancehall rap, not melodic rap, actual lyrical hip hop.
Word for word, verse for verse. Certified lover boy, certified pedo. Wow, gotta be the freaking a freaking verse in the Bible now.
I think that people are deliberately not gonna go see Drake if he tries to do a stadium run.
Hey, the breath control is crazy because as a fan, you can stop rapping and pick back up. But for Kendrick to perform all these songs back to back, and again, still mind your marks because guess what? You are walking on a stage where a lot of things could go wrong if you miss your mark. It's honestly such an incredible feat.
For Drake to surpass what Kendrick has done, he's gonna have to double his tickets and he's gonna have to do double the shows.
I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how he continues this run. It is one of the greatest hip hop runs of all time.
And I find it so crazy that so many Drake stans try to claim that there's no memorable records on the GNX album.
Y'all can really just shut up and sit down somewhere. Matter of fact, get out of here.
It gets such a great pop. Definitely shout out to Mustard, man. Again, the guy really bet on himself big. He got out of his deal by giving up his publishing up until that point. Plus, I want to say he also had to throw some money in there. So the guy really bet on himself, and obviously he came out winning.
But the real
big.
number that matters isn't financial, it's cultural. 42,000 people singing along to every word of songs that weren't made for radio. That's the number that proves Kendrick's impact goes beyond commerce into something deeper. Sydney wasn't just a successful concert, it was a precedent. It proved that hip-hop can dominate stadiums globally without compromising its essence. For years, the industry has pushed the narrative that rap needs to be watered down for mainstream success, that conscious lyrics don't sell tickets, that international audiences won't connect with specifically American experiences. Sydney destroyed all of those assumptions. 42,000 people in Australia connected deeply with music about Compton streets, American racial politics, and personal struggles they've never experienced. Why? Because great artistry transcends geography, because authenticity resonates universally, because people are hungry for music that challenges them intellectually and emotionally. Kendrick proved that you don't need to dumb down your music to reach the world. You just need to make it undeniably great. 10 years from now, when people talk about Kendrick's career, they'll talk about Sydney. They'll talk about the 100,000 people who showed up, the sold-out stadiums, the global reach of pure hip-hop artistry. They'll talk about how Kendrick proved that artistry and commercial success aren't mutually exclusive, that consciousness and crowd-pleasing can coexist, that hip-hop can conquer the world without losing its soul. But most importantly, they'll talk about the moment when 42,000 people in Sydney sang along to every word of Not Like Us and proved that great music has no borders. Sydney wasn't just the finale of the GNX tour, it was the proof of concept for the future of hip-hop. It was the moment when Kendrick Lamar cemented his legacy not just as a great rapper, but as a global icon who changed what we thought was possible. What happened in Sydney? Kendrick Lamar showed the world that when you're truly great, geography doesn't matter, language barriers don't matter, cultural differences don't matter. All that matters is the music, and in Sydney, the music was undeniable.